Today we have info on the Harry Potter world in the Middle East, more Scrabble words available, National Homemade Bread Day, and so much more.
We have today's weather forecast with Lily Fowler and a sports update with Sarah Hughes.
Today is Thursday, November 17th, 2022.
We are live from Studio H12 in the Shroyer Broadcasting Center at Bradley Central High School, and you're watching VOX News Today.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amber Filia.
And I'm Ian Reardon, and these are your top stories for today.
Harry Potter is headed to the Middle East. The boy wizard is riding his Quidditch broomstick into the Warner Brothers World Abu Dhabi-themed park in the United Arab Emirates. The park says it will be the Middle East's first Harry Potter-themed land. It says Harry Potter Land will, quote, invite fans to step inside iconic locations from this wizarding world, seen in an all-new way, end quote. Warner Brothers Abu Dhabi is located on Abu Dhabi's Yas Island and bills itself as the world's largest indoor theme park.
Family members of those arrested in El Salvador marched against the 8th extension of the state of exception, maintaining their loved ones were detained arbitrarily and do not belong to any gangs. This policy has been in effect since the end of March due to violence in the country, which has left up to 62 people dead in a single day. The measure allows authorities to intervene in telecommunications without the authorization of a judge. It also suspends constitutional guarantees such as the right to a legal defense.
The Mexican Navy announced Tuesday that the rescue dog Frida died at the age of 13 due to age-related conditions. The Labrador Retriever was trained in the K-9 unit of the Navy to be a part of the search and rescue team in disaster situations. From 2010 to 2017, she participated in various rescue operations, including an earthquake in Haiti, a landslide in Ecuador in 2017, as well as 2 earthquakes in Mexico, one in Oaxaca and one in Mexico City in 2017. She did 55 rescues during her service.
UK Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt is set to introduce a lot of new taxes and cuts to spending, while at the same time trying to move on from the economic chaos caused by the previous Prime Minister, Liz Truss. The new government needs to restore confidence in the British economy. Inflation is just over 11%, a 41-year high.
Teens say their experience on social media is more positive than adults may think. Pew Research Center surveyed about 1,300 teens. 80% said social media gives them some level of connection of what is going on in their friends' lives. Teens also said social media helps them get support from their community, but only 27% said that their experience is even worse than their parents think. They said negative experiences stem from screen time and the impacts of online drama. Researchers also said parents should talk with their teens about social media use because there are still individual circumstances and downsides to consider.
It's being called a Red Cup Rebellion. More than 2,000 Starbucks workers in 112 stores are set to go on strike Thursday. This also comes on the iconic Red Cup Day. It's when customers get red cups with certain purchases that entitle them to discounts and extra points on future purchases. The union says the strike is to protest the retaliation against union supporters. It also says the company is refusing to bargain with the union on its first labor deal. The Labor Relations Board also taking action. It filed a national cease and desist order to prevent the coffee giant from retaliating against union supporters. No word on which stores will be affected and if they will be able to stay open.
And now let's check on our weather. Lily, what can you tell us?
It's going to stay cold outside, but it's not wet anymore, so stay tuned for your forecast right after this break.
That sounds awful. Seriously, awful. But a lot better than last week.
We weren't born to follow.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Doug Beerthaler, General Manager of Cleveland Ford, and together,
We are Cleveland Ford.
Welcome back to Vox News. I'm Lily Fowler with your weather. And here's your weather at a glance for today. It is currently 28 degrees out with a high of 45 and a low of 23 with precipitation at 2%. The wind will be at 5 miles per hour with humidity at 76%, a dew point of 41 degrees, a pressure of 30 inches, a visibility of 10 miles, and a UV index of 0. The Colorado ski season is off to a fast start. 3 ski areas were opened by November 1st. The lists are already in use at a total of 9 resorts. Lower humidity and colder temperatures and more clouds cover this year allowed the snow guns to be efficient, the best conditions since they started their snowmaking operation more than 50 years ago. Now let's take a look at our national radar. There will be rain in the north and in the middle of the states. And here's your local radar. It'll be clear skies all throughout. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with a high of 45 and a low of 23. On Friday, it'll be sunny with a high of 50 and a low of 26. On Saturday, it'll be sunny with a high of 49 and a low of 25. On Sunday, it'll be sunny with a high of 44 and a low of 22. On Monday, it'll be mostly sunny with a high of 53 and a low of 30. On Tuesday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 56 and a low of 35. And on Wednesday, it'll be mostly cloudy with a high of 59 and a low of 41. That is all I have for your weather. Here is Sawyer with your sports report.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Doug Vierthaler, General Manager of Cleveland Ford. And together, we are Cleveland Ford.
At Whirlpool, we don't know how leaving the house less can make you need to eat more, or why the inside of the fridge is just so interesting. But we do know how to make appliances you can trust, day after day, after day, after day.
I was told the place I was looking for didn't exist.
A place that could refine my raw talents into something greater.
Where I could ask big questions about my faith, not settling for easy answers.
And I could risk what's comfortable in pursuit of my dream.
To join with others, find my voice, and change the world.
I was told that place didn't exist.
Then I found Lee.
At McDonald's, we're making changes every day to serve you better. It's what we're made of. And serving you better means fresh beef quarter-pounder burgers. Your burger, his burger, her burger. All cooked fresh, right when you order. Made from pure North American beef and just a pinch of salt and pepper. Because we think there's nothing better than a fresh beef quarter-pounder burger made for you, right when you order. And that's just one way we're showing you what we're made of.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented the facts.
Misrepresent the facts? Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
Welcome back to Vox News. I'm Sarah Hughes with your sports report, and it was Brett Whitehead with Brett's Picks.
Hello and welcome to week number 12 on a cold Thursday morning. I'm Gwen Shroyer, this is Brett Whitehead, and you're watching Brett's Picks, 16th year. Hey Brett, we've got a few things we want to talk about as we get into the show before we get into college football. Let's talk a little bit about college basketball. The Lady Vols not playing too well. Been defeated twice, both of them upsets, lower ranked teams, and so they're not off to a great start. However, the men have done okay. They won last night. They played Florida Gulf Coast University.
81 to 50.
81 to 50. So that was in Knoxville. Also, Bradley won a couple games this week. The girls won against Baylor. The boys won against Silverdale. That was their first home games. They've got games coming up. I think there's a game tonight. Knox Webb, the boys are playing. This weekend, there's some games to be played. Next week, Tuesday, there's some games, and then we'll come back, you know.
And we play
Cleveland. There's some games coming up real quick. Is that on the 12th, the 2nd?
The 2nd of
December. So Brett's trying to stay on top of basketball. Let's take a look quick at our first graphic here. This is the college football playoff polls, the standings that everybody's talking about. No change up in the top 5. Georgia's still sitting firm at number 1. Number 2, Ohio State. Michigan at 3, TCU at 4, and Tennessee at 5. Oregon creeping up to number 6. And then you have a host of other teams. There's been a lot of movement there. Ole Miss dropped down quite a bit. Alabama.
Number 14.
Alabama's sitting right there, still in the top 10. Anyway, there's a look at that. Oregon dropped out of the top 10 because of their loss. LSU is the one that moved up, so I was reading that wrong, forgive me. And we're going to take a commercial break, but before we go, anything you want to say?
Today is the Thanksgiving dinner lunch for the family.
Everybody at Bradley's
here
happy
at the school.
We're having Thanksgiving lunch. So we'll talk about college football right after this message. Thank you, Mark, for that sponsorship, providing Brett here. Ongoing show reputation there you have with the barbershop is impeccable. Thank you, Amanda and Lisa, and taking care of Brett's head over here.
Yeah.
He goes over there, Brett's Whitehead. Get the joke. Anyway, he goes over there, gets his head nicely taken care of, groomed real nice.
Yeah.
You're looking good, Brett. All right, let's get into the picks. So here's a look at the pickers, the standings for those that pick these games. We had a little shift in what was going on. Colin was a little upset. I did some miscalculation and dropped him down to like number 9 or something crazy. And we recalculated.
Number 4.
And he got his wins back, and so he's back up to number 3. Brett's sitting at number 4. Mr. German, Coach Carpenter's still sitting at 1 and 2. I dropped to number 7.
And Sawyer.
And Sawyer holding on to number 4 with you, and Langdon. Nice. Okay, here's our first game, Brett. Big game here, number 4, TCU playing against in-state rival, conference rival, Baylor, at Baylor. Noon game on ESPN+. Who do you have?
I have TCU.
TCU with the big win. And I think Baylor might pull this one out, Brett. Florida at Vanderbilt, another SEC East rival. Noon game on ESPN+.
I have Florida.
Florida with the win. Next
Big
we have...
upset.
That would, well, they're both, you know, not ranked. So.
And I have Pittsburgh.
Duke at Pittsburgh, and you have Pittsburgh. That game at noon on ACC Net. So Pittsburgh for you. And we're going to see your face pop up here in a second. There it is. Look at that smile. All right, next game.
And the sunglasses.
And the sunglasses. Miami playing at number 9, Clemson. 3:30 p.m. game on ESPN. Who do you have, Brett?
I have Clemson.
Clemson. Next is the formidable Texas Longhorns playing in conference rival Kansas. And this is a 3:30 game on Fox Sports. You can expect to have a lot of hoopla if Kansas were to upset Texas and it being a home game, but I think Texas is pretty good. But who do you have, Brett?
I have Texas.
Texas with the win. Next, is Stanford at California. This is West Coast rivalry, 5:30 p.m. game. The game's on the Pac-12 network. Who do you have?
I have California.
California. All right. Next is Ole Miss sitting at number 14 playing at Arkansas. Or Arkansas. So we have 7:30 p.m. game. SEC net carrying that one. Who do you have?
I have Ole Miss.
Ole Miss should win that game. Next we have number 7 USC playing in-town rival
At number 16
UCLA. 8 p.m. game on Fox.
USC.
USC. All right. Southern California. Number 10 Utah playing at number 12 Oregon. Both teams pretty evenly matched. Oregon coming off a loss. 10:30 game on ESPN. Who do you have?
I have Utah.
Utah. All right. Next we have the big one, number 5, Tennessee traveling to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. 7 p.m. game on ESPN. This, of course, is an SEC East matchup. Vols are favored by 21.5 points. And the over-under, those of you that don't bet in college football, I do not, but the over-under on this game is 66 points. That means both teams' total of points will be at least 66 points. That's what people are predicting. If you're looking for the prediction on who people are picking the most, 90% of the people are picking Tennessee to win this game, and you've got some diehard South Carolina fans. 10% of the picks are going their way. Who do you have in this one, Brett?
Tennessee.
Tennessee all the way. There's the helmet.
And my face.
We think that's going to be a great matchup. Tennessee should maybe even set some more records. Hendon Hooker has been a great visionary on the football field, great leader for Tennessee, and I think you'll have, like I said, some more records. What else you got, Brett?
You have Iowa and Michigan.
Iowa and Michigan, another
playing this weekend.
Rivalry. Iowa usually pretty strong. Michigan doing really well this year. We're looking forward to next week's game with Michigan and Ohio State. That's going to be a crazy.
You have
game.
You have Boston College.
Yeah.
At Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame. So 2 golden helmet schools. Also, we want to point out about the tragic situation that happened on the campus of Virginia. A former football player got onto a bus and started shooting and killed 3 football players from Virginia, and other people were wounded. We do want to reflect on that horrible situation and let you know that Virginia will not be playing their football game this
Saturday.
weekend. They were going to be playing Carolina Coastal, but that game has been suspended. I don't know if they're going to make it up or just cancel it. They're going to cancel it.
Yeah.
So tragic situation there in not Blacksburg, but in Virginia, and just a lot of sympathy going their way and prayers. That's a horrible situation. Those families are just, horribly at a loss. That's a horrible situation.
You have Michigan and Ohio State
next week. Yeah, that's
on the 26th.
One of those 2 teams is going to get knocked out of the top 5 and will not be in the playoffs. So Colin over here rooting for Ohio State thinks it's a no-brainer, but we shall see.
You have Alabama. You have Auburn at Alabama.
Yeah, next week's games, quite a few, which we will not be covering because we're not here next week. Also, Tennessee will be playing
at Vanderbilt.
In-state rival, and that is the most heated rivalry that Tennessee's had for the history of Tennessee football. There was a time where Vanderbilt beat Tennessee almost every year until the General Robert E. Nealon came to be the coach, and the General set that standard of Tennessee will win and came up with the maxims, which are infamous now, and all the other things that make Tennessee what it is.
It's at 7:30.
That's next week at 7:30.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
He was quick on that. So that's all I have.
And we will have some games
in 2 weeks. We'll be back.
Bowl games.
We will talk about bowl games. We'll talk about championship games first, but then we'll talk about bowl games. So until then, which seems like it's going to be forever, but it's not. Don't blink. Don't eat too much turkey,
And
because
look
we'll
at
be
Trevor.
back. Until then, for Brett Whitehead, I'm Gwen Shroyer, and we'll see you
on the sideline.
Malik Hall forced 2 extra periods with dunks off inbound plays. Michigan State outlasted number 4 Kentucky 86-77 in double overtime on Tuesday night after Oscar Tshiebwe concluded his strong season debut by fouling out. Tshiebwe, last season's consensus National Player of the Year, had 22 points and 18 rebounds for the Wildcats before picking up his 5th foul late in the first overtime. Michigan State, coming off a 1-point loss to number 2 Gonzaga on the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln, appeared headed for another tough non-conference defeat in this Champions Classic matchup. Jalen Wilson scored a career-high 25 points, DeJon Harris Jr. dished out a career-best 10 assists, and Grady Dick made 3 crucial baskets in the final 2.5 minutes to help the defending national champs rally past number 7 Duke 69-64. Kansas is 3-0 with Roberts filling in for suspended coach Bill Self, who will sit out the first 4 games because of a 2017 infraction scandal, but the results remain unchanged as the Jayhawks ran their winning streak to 14. Tyrese Hunter, transferred from Iowa State, now playing for number 11 Texas, seemed to be getting farther and farther away every time he let another 3-pointer fly yesterday. Hunter's last season's Big 12 Freshman of the Year at Iowa State was 9 of 14 shooting and made 5 of Texas' 13 3-pointers. He made 3 from long range in the opening minutes of the second half as the Longhorns seized control against number 2 Gonzaga. Hunter scored 26 points, pushing number 11 Texas to a dominant 93-74 win over number 2 Gonzaga on Wednesday night. Logano and the Roger Penske team said they wanted the ultimate NASCAR prize, and those words were backed with action in a dominant win that etched Logano's name in an exclusive group of multi-time Cup Series champions. He beat out fellow contenders Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, and Christopher Bell to join Kyle Busch as the only current full-time, multi-time champion on the series. This story is in tribute to our 90-feet-tall floor director Trevor Walker, who has been begging for a NASCAR story since sports writer Colin Crisp first met him. Here it is, Trev. You're welcome. That is all I have for sports. Stay tuned for more Vox News after this break.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford. I am Doug Vierthaler, General Manager of Cleveland Ford. And together,
we are Cleveland Ford. And I wish it joy and happiness. But above all this, I wish you love.
Thank you.
Kindness. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Cleveland Ford.
I am Cleveland.
I am Doug Vierthaler, General Manager of Cleveland Ford. And together,
we are Cleveland Ford.
Hey guys, this is Austin with Let's Bounce Rental. We're here to provide a quality inflatable for a great price. We have over 17 that's available, and we are easy to book and hassle-free, so you will never go wrong with getting a party done by Let's Bounce Rental. We're always here to drive a great service.
Our crew is dedicated to make sure your equipment arrives on time, set up properly, and without any hassle. Our job is to make sure you have access to the best inflatables so you can have the most fun possible at any event. Whether it's a school event, church gathering, or birthday party, we have the equipment for you. The best part is that we are a locally owned company. We pride ourselves on making sure our customers are taken care of. So the next event you have, plan for success with Let's Bounce Rental. Call us today at 423-435-4311 or reach us by email or website. Thank you.
Welcome back to Vox News. Police are still trying to determine what caused a school bus to flip over in eastern Kentucky Monday morning. 18 students and a bus driver were on board. As Samantha Valentino explains, the bus ended up in a ditch and several students and the driver were badly hurt. Kentucky State Police say they were first notified of the crash around 7:30 a.m. after one of the students on the bus called 911. First responders at the scene told WKYT that they believed the bus had overcorrected on a turn and ended up going over the road and into a ditch. Kentucky State Police say they are still investigating the cause of the crash.
The woman made famous when she danced with President Obama and the First Lady back in 2016 died Monday. Virginia McLaurin was 113 years old. She gained national attention when she visited the Obamas during Black History Month. In her joy to meet them, she started dancing. McLaurin was 106 years old when that happened. That's what gained her the national spotlight. But McLaurin was well known in her Washington, D.C. community before that. She spent decades volunteering 40 hours a week at schools after she retired. McLaurin also shared stories about growing up as the daughter of sharecroppers in South Carolina during the Great Depression.
A cadet for the Chattanooga police has been arrested and charged with driving under the influence after she had crashed her car into a tree Tuesday morning. According to a sworn affidavit after the incident, the affidavit seeking her arrest by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office stated, quote, "The female appeared to be off balance and almost fell to the ground on 2 separate occasions," end quote. Brielle Kirsten Leary, 34 years old, was arrested shortly before 7 a.m. after a call of a vehicle on a guard wire near a power pole near Howell Road, according to the affidavit.
The American Red Cross stepped in to assist a family of 5 after a house fire which caused a reported $250,000 in damages Wednesday. Authorities had responded to the emergency at 3409 Anderson Pike Avenue at 1:45 p.m. after the homeowner had called 911. Responders with Walden's Ridge Emergency Services and the Signal Mountain Fire Department discovered flames coming from the den and were able to extinguish the fire with an interior attack. No one was hurt, and the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Nashville isn't the only mid-state city dealing with a homeless problem. About an hour and a half southeast of Nashville, McMinnville is tackling the homeless problem so well that other cities are looking at their blueprint for success. Around 70 miles away sits the small city of McMinnville, where one nonprofit, Home, has seen success with street outreach and most recently a tiny home community called Prosperity Point. The executive director, Sheila Fan, expects to serve close to 500 people by the end of the year and even has other cities reaching out for inspiration.
A wanted fugitive has died after an exchange of gunfire with U.S. Marshals early Wednesday morning at Shallow Road Hotel in Chattanooga. Walker County Sheriff Steve Wilson said in a news release that John R. Wells Jr., 49, was wanted on charges of aggravated assault, terroristic threats, and violation of probation for the October 27, 2022 shooting of his wife in the Villanelle community of Walker County. His wife was treated and later released from the hospital after several days of care. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office is investigating the shooting at the request of Hamilton County DA Cody Wham.
Adorbs might sound like just a cute abbreviation, but it could also help you win your next round of Scrabble. It's one of more than 500 new words added to the official Scrabble dictionary. Some other new playable words include dox, zoodle, ambigram, and zodonk. Hasbro and Merriam-Webster have also bent some of the game's rules in the 7th edition of its dictionary. It now includes proper nouns like Google and Boricua. And other editions are newer to the vernacular like deepfake, subtweet, vax, and guac. Merriam-Webster says these new words allow players to up their game while celebrating our expanding language.
Are you ready for this? Thursday is National Homemade Bread Day, and there are loaves of ways you can celebrate, as long as you're ready to rise to the challenge. There's really no better bread than the kind you make at home. Make it for your family, it's the yeast you can do. Make it for your friends if they need a pick-me-up. Heck, make it for yourself if you're feeling a little crummy. You can eat it a slice at a time, make it into a sandwich, or even put it on a salad. It's delicious any way you choose to chow down. Crust us. Perhaps not so much a coincidence Thursday is also National Butter Day, bread's favorite companion.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
You'll also find more online at our website, bchs.tv.
Please remind your friends to like, subscribe, and share on our YouTube channel, BCHS Fair Network.
Each weekday for our newscast. Just can't get enough box.
That is all we have for you today from Studio H12 and the Shroyer Broadcasting Center at Bradley Central High School.
From all of us at Vox News, thank you for watching.
We hope you have a splendid day.
And as always,
God bless and go Bears.